Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are looking for an attacking midfielder this summer, and Andrea Berta is a very big fan of a couple of them. We already have a list of players that Arsenal are looking at. So in this video, we're going to be analyzing all the players that Mikel, Arteta and Andrea Berta are looking at in that number 10 position or creative role position, and see what are the advantages of signing each player and the downside of signing each player as well. Let me know in the comment box below as well, which player would you love to see at Arsenal in that creative role. Now, again, it's not to replace Martin Odegaard. I want to be very clear. Odegaard is a very vital part of Mikel Arteta's system, but you could just add another player as a creator, just as simple as that. Hit the like button. Let's get into it. Let's start off with Sivert, one of the players that Arsenal have tracked for quite some time now. We've tracked him since December, January. We tried to sign him in January. It could have happened, but then the deal didn't happen. Now, according to The Athletic, Arsenal are sure they can get this the Sivert deal done. 15 million. He's just young. He's 18, soon turning 19, but he's a prodigy and he's a very good talent. And of course, when it comes to Arsenal, you don't need no invitation to understand that we love a good talent. Bukayo Saka, Lewis Kelly, Ethan Nwaneri, Jack Wilshere, Theo Walcott, Robin van Persie. I can go on and on and on. This team has a track record of identifying talent and then massively improving them. And of course, under Mikel Arteta, he's gone out there, looked at Martin Odegaard and believed Odegaard can come and do a job at Arsenal. And Odegaard has become wonders. He's become captain, and the rest is history. So, Sivert, one of the first options that Arsenal are looking at. Now, with Naipan, it was reported in January that Arsenal were really desperate for additions to the squad, that Naipan at 18 was going to come in and play with the senior team. First and foremost, that indicates how good this guy is. And second of all, it shows you that Arsenal as a team really believe in Sivert Naipan's talent. I mean, for you to come in from Norway, not even from the German Bundesliga or La Liga, but from Norway, and the manager is thinking of you coming to train with the first team and possibly get some minutes, that tells you everything you need to know about Sivert Naipan. Now, what are the advantages of this deal? It's going to be 15 million for an 18-year-old to cost 15 million to a club like Arsenal. Yeah, we know the talent is there, but it's a little bit too much for me. I mean, it should be around 8 to 9 million. He's unproven. He's not proven anywhere, right? But I think this is the Norwegian FA and the Norwegian side trying to kind of produce another Martin Odegaard. So 15 million, for me, it's a little bit too much, right? The other thing is he's a little bit too young. 18, yes, he can come in and do a job like Lewis Kelly is doing a job already, but 18, you've not really been part of this Arsenal setup. You're just coming from Norway. I think the jump might be too high, and it's one where we might see a Fabio Vieira, regurgitation, where you're like, he comes in, he's good, but he needs a loan spell or two, right? So I think if Arsenal should sign him, there's no question about that. He's a good attacking midfielder, related to Ozil, related to Martin Odegaard. The comparisons are just crazy, but I think he's still young for us to put all that pressure on his shoulders, right? So the upside, obviously, is that you're having a young guy who can be groomed into a very great creative midfielder for this Arsenal team for the next 10 years, actually for the next 12, 13 years. And he's going to be here and he's going to do a job. And if Arsenal sign him for 10 million, we can actually sell him later if he decides to leave for a profit. If you sign him for 10 million, 5 years later, he's become a star. You're talking about 70 million, 80 million. That is about 70 million in terms of profit, but we shouldn't be talking about that. So Sivert Naipan, still young. He's got a few things to work on in his game. This pressure that Arsenal are under, we're looking to win the Premier League next season. We're looking to be champions. I don't think an 18-year-old, unless they're Kylian Mbappe, unless they're Erling Haaland, should be put under such pressure to deliver in the Premier League for a team that wants to win the title like that. Next on the list is Leroy San. Now, San, to most of you, has been putting on the shirt number 10 at Bayern. And you've been asking yourself, is he a 10? Is he a winger? Can he play as a 10? Yes, Leroy San is one of those players that are gifted. He's versatile. He is really good in multiple positions. He can play off the left. We've seen him play off the left during his time at Schalke 04. We have seen him play off the right during his time at Manchester City, and he has also played through the middle during his time at Bayern. That is how talented this guy is. And I've always said that Leroy San for me is like an Antoine Griezmann, right? This kind of player that just is so talented, they can do anything. They do whatever they want. Kind of the Kevin De Bruyne kind of talent. Like, you can't limit him. He wakes up in the morning as like, I'm operating as a 10 and he will deliver. And then he operates as a right winger and he will deliver. And then he operates as a left winger and he will absolutely deliver as well. So what I want to say here when it comes to Leroy Sané is I don't care where he has played before. He can play as an attacking midfielder and he's got so many advantages. The first one is experience. This Arsenal team is going into its prime, and you can see that we need a lot of experience. We need a lot of players that can come in and just add to the level of experience we have in the team right about now. Sané is one of those. He's won the Champions League. Has he won the Champions League with Bayern? Possibly not, but he's been there and he's played a lot of games. He's played a lot of football as well in the Premier League with Manchester City. He's 29. He comes with a lot of mileage. Like, he comes with a lot of minutes under his belt. And that's the first thing Arsenal would be getting. As we lose Partey and Jorginho, that's a lot of experience in the dressing room. And of course, we shall be losing Neto, and we shall be losing Zinchenko possibly, and we shall be losing Kieran Tierney, and we shall be losing Raheem Sterling. That's a lot of experience to, lose in one window. And that's why the likes of Sané actually make a lot of sense. But even at 29, Leroy Sané has got a lot of pace. And in that creative role, one of the things Arsenal need to work on is pace. Like, can we have midfielders that are willing to run, that are athletic, that are quick, that are pacey, right? And with Sané, one thing you love about him, or I love about him, is he's got the ability to make the ball run quickly, or he's got the ability to run quickly without the ball, or run quickly with the ball. That is how beautiful and good he is. He's such a talented, gifted footballer. He's creative. That's what we're looking for. He can create chances, for the rest of the team. He can create chances for your number 9. He can come in and change a game. He's free. Guys, he is free. Who doesn't love a free deal? I love a free deal, obviously. You love a free deal. Do not even pretend. As the fans are some of the best accountants in the football world. Like, they will tell you, we can't sign him. He's 100 million and his resale value is not 100 million. And if you sign him for 2 years, they're so good at that. So we love a free deal. And Leroy Sané at 29 is more like this Raheem Sterling kind of signing. The Raheem Sterling signing didn't work out, but if he had worked out, it would have been marvelous. You bring in a guy, you're paying half of his wages, he's free. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. And I think Sané is like that. Arsenal will be paying full wages, maybe a sign-on bonus, but apart from that, he's going to be free. You're not going to pay 30 million or 40 million to get his services out of Bayern. And I understand why Arsenal have already started talks with Sané, because the deal makes a lot of sense. And then with though these injuries that we have seen, you need a versatile profile. Again, that is Sané. Like I said, he can play anywhere on the pitch with ease. He can play anywhere with absolute precision and effectiveness. He's a winner, and he's a player that has got something to prove. I think that's another advantage when you think about Sané. He's a winner. I mean, he's been a Bayern and they've been winning things. And then he's a player that has got something to prove. I think Sané is like, for me, the successful Mario Götze and Marco Reyes. There is something that we have just not seen out of these boys. Sané, Götze, Reyes, Maximilian Meyer. There is something we've not seen from them. Like Julian Brandt, that category of players that we thought were going to be so good, and they have just had okay careers. The likes of Thorgan Hazard as well. They just had okay careers. They've not had these really blossoming careers. So maybe Sané believes he can blossom later on. At 29, you can play until 33, and you can give us really some very, very good football. But apart from looking at a 29-year-old, Arsenal are looking at someone who is a little bit younger. 24-year-old Xavi Simons at RB Leipzig, also in the German Bundesliga, signed for RB Leipzig on a permanent. They are selling him this summer for around £60 million, and Arsenal are listening, and they are taking notes, and they are keeping contact with the players' camp, and they are keeping notes on the deal. So the advantage with Xavi Simons is that he's not this typical 10. So that means that if he comes into the Mikel system, it is not you either play in the 10 or you're finished. He can play as an 8. He can play as an 11. He can play as a false 9. He can play everywhere. Xavi Simons is Aaron Ramsey. Think about Aaron Ramsey when he was still at Arsenal. But then think about him. Give him more talent and give him more talent. I kind of feel like Xavi Simons is a more talented and technically gifted Ramsey. But of course, remember Ramsey. He could fit in anywhere. Wenger played him as a 7, like not as a 7, but as a right midfielder in attack. It worked out very well. Then Arsene Wenger used him as an 8. It worked very well. He used him as a 10. It worked very well. Aaron Ramsey was that player that you could trust. He was reliable. Maybe Xavi Simons ain't that because, with technically gifted players and really talented players, at times they aren't that reliable. Unless you are a Santi Cazorla. Even Cazorla wasn't that reliable. He was injury prone. Unless you're Kevin De Bruyne, maybe, right? Or a Messi or Ronaldo. But apart from the reliability of Ramsey, Xavi Simons could be our Aaron Ramsey. Now, what do I like about Xavi Simons? First and foremost, he's very creative. We have seen that for the Dutch national team. He's a very creative player. He plays with Wout Weghorst in front of him or Memphis Depay in front of him as a 9. Then Cody Gakpo off the left as well, and whoever. And then that midfield with Tijani Reinders and the rest. And that team is good, really good. So he's a creative player. And Arsenal will have added to their arsenal of creativity by adding a player like Xavi Simons. There is no question about that. He's not a natural 10, but he's played there in that false 9, and also in that number 10 position. And it has worked very well. Actually, I think the comparison I made with Ramsey, we can also make some comparison when it comes to some parts of his game with Cesc Fabregas. Remember Cesc Fabregas going to Barca, and it was that kind of false 9, right? That kind of false 9, because Barca never played with a traditional 10. The Xavi, they had Iniesta, so they needed the false 9. They didn't need someone who was going to tell Xavi and Iniesta, give me the ball, let me create. So that is Xavi Simons. He's a versatile player. For the Dutch, he plays in the middle of the park. For PSV, he played on the left wing, and for RB Leipzig, he plays in a free role. Wherever they want him to be, he's always there. He's got goals. This is one of the things I like about him. He's got goals in his system, and he's got goals in his game. I love a midfielder that is going to come in and score some goals. The other things are quite basic. Is he's a young player. He loves to play in small pockets of space. I think that's what Arsenal is struggling with. Without space, when suffocated, can we get players that are comfortable in those small spaces? He's got experience at his very young age at PSV, at PSG, and then at RB Leipzig. And he's also a massive talent. But the downside is that he won't come cheap. He's 60 million. And that means he's a risk. I kind of feel like as well, he's going to need some time. Not time like 2 years or 3 years, but the first season, you might not get him to hit the ground running the way you'd have signed a 28-year-old player. Remember when we signed Santi Cazorla? Cazorla hit the ground running from the first day. I think we were playing Sunderland in the first day, Sunderland or Portsmouth, and it ended 0-0. Santi Cazorla hit the bar twice. That guy, I just knew Cazorla is going to be a devastating midfielder. So with Xavi Simons, you might need to give him a season, but at 60 million, of course, it comes in at a risk. But for me, it's not a big risk. I'll take it. Then Alex Moleiro. So Alex Moleiro at Las Palmas is a 21-year-old player that Arsenal have looked at, and they appreciate him, but he's got Vieira vibes, right? The one thing I like about Moleiro is when he's on the ball, he's a mini Santi Cazorla. Like, you're looking at a Santi Cazorla playing football. He's running, his small feet are running all over the pitch, and he's just traversing through the lines. He's such a very, very good footballer. He's young. I would say he's a good Odegaard backup as well, because at 21, you might not come in and just start. But when we need Odegaard to rest, when we need to rotate him, when he's not having a good game, Alex Moreira can come in and do a job. One of the things that you're going to get from Leroy is entertainment. For me, I was entertained by Santi Cazorla. Like, he used to get the ball on the right-hand side of the midfield and then just come running and beating players until the left-hand side of the midfield without him losing the ball. Like, you couldn't foul him, you couldn't tackle him, he was press resistant, and he was very, very good. He was quick as well. So I love that about Moreira. He's got that thunderous ball hitting ability as well. As a player, he's a brave player. He's gonna carry the ball, and he's got this aura about him that he's gonna carry the ball and take it into the penalty area for the opponent. Right? He shoots outside the penalty area. He's got those goals outside the penalty area as well. So I think if Arsenal are really exploring the position, it makes sense. One of the things I don't like about him is that, of course, he doesn't have experience, but he scores very few goals. Actually, that is the thing I don't like about him. And maybe some pundits might say he's tiny, but for me, that is not a problem. And then you have Ryan Sharkey. He's quick, he's for sale, he's versatile. Doesn't really play as a 10, really loves to play off the wings, but I think Mikel could, change him if we got him. And then Florian Wirtz is expensive. It's not happening. Bayern wants him as well. Probably he's gonna go to Bayern, but if Arsenal could get it done, he's another player I would really love. Hit the like button. Let's pick